Good afternoon, students. This is Dr. Steve Scheel. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving break. Our semester is coming to a quick conclusion, so let's take a look at some of the projects that we are working on or have worked on, and I'd like to go over the solution to Excel Moodle project number 4. So let's take a look at the project. Now, when you have these projects, make sure you read the entire instruction sheet. I mean, you go from the first steps, read over the second steps before you enter any data into a spreadsheet. If you were designing your own project for a business or for your own business, the same thing would be. You would plan out the strategy, think about what you need, and you'd have a beginning and an end. So let's take a look at this and see how it would work for today's project. Okay, the getting started, we take care of that. We're familiar with that. Let me go over to the project itself. I entered who done it as the student that's going to help you and Tanya with the project. We saved it, project 4, first name, last name, and then we changed the 1 to a 2. So we've been doing that throughout the semester. Okay, over here, let me just look at the payroll. You can see that if I expanded this, you could actually look at the names of the employees and their particular values, but we're concerned here with the averages. This is the average monthly salary for the 20 employees, followed by the housing stipend, following by all the information down the line here. Okay, now Tanya set up a spreadsheet that we can use for the what-if analysis. And so the two of you are going to use this, and it basically, it looks at the income averages and the deduction averages, the values. And we go from there and, determining what the gross wages are going to be and so forth. So let's take a look and populate these fields. Now, the way I'm going to do it is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to go over here, copy. I'm going to paste it. I'll just paste it as a value. Do the same thing for the housing stipend, average value, copy, paste it in. Let's see, what else do we have here? Payroll, the auto allowance. That's a pretty generous auto allowance, as I've mentioned in the past, I think. Copy, paste. Now let's look at the deductions. And so let's go back to the payroll. Let's see, the deductions, well, federal tax deduction. Copy that, come over here. Paste, health insurance deduction. Copy, come over here. Paste that value in. And finally, their retirement deduction. Copy, come over here, and paste this one in. Okay, so we've populated our average values with the information we need to eventually use the what-if analysis. Now, life is always easier if we name the cells, but before that, let's go ahead and do our computational cells. The gross wages is just going to be the sum of those 3, so I can just say equal sum. I got the gross wages. Do the same thing for the deductions. I'll just put an equal sum again. Want to add those 3 values, close it off. And we would have the sum, and then the net wages, that's going to be basically the gross wages minus the deductions. So let's go make our own formula here, equal. I'm going to take this value, B6, and I'd like to subtract B11. hit the enter, and there we get our gross take-home pay, or average net for all the 20 employees. Okay, so this is the basic sheet we're going to be using for our what-if analysis for the project. Okay, so let's name the cells, because if we don't, we end up just getting cell references, like B7, B3, and all that. And we like to have these values associated with these names. So first of all, let me just highlight this. Go to Formulas, go to Create Names, and here I'm saying in this block, the left-hand column will be the name for these values. So that looks right. So I'm going to hit OK. And those values have been named. Here's proof. There they are. That's their name, and there's the values. Okay, let's do the same with these guys. Again, we're using the left-hand column for the names. And one more. Let's do the net wages. Oops. Okay, and again, name manager, we have everything named, all the way down to net wages. Okay, so everything's cool. Okay, so we got these things named. So now you and Tanya and Whodunit are going to analyze the spreadsheet using the what-if analysis. Now again, you can go to data here, and over here is your what-if analysis. And there we're going to do, there's 3 different things you can do: scenario manager, goal seek, data tables. But right now we're just going to concentrate on scenario manager. Okay. Oh, let me get rid of this. This is something Whodunit had done. So let's start from scratch. So let me delete that. Delete that. So, okay, now we're going to start from scratch. So we come back over here. Go to my scenario manager, and I want to add. And, the first scenario I want to add usually is something to maintain these original values. Sometimes these original values come from other spreadsheets or even somebody else's project. And so as we make changes in the what-if analysis, we don't want these values to change the original values. So we want to always know what the original values were. So just in a case of precaution, I'll create that one, that original values. Okay, now we need to select what cells can change. Well, these 3 cells can change. I'll put in over here a comma. And these 3 cells can change. So those are the cells that have a possibility of changing. We hit this. Prevent changes. I'm going to hit OK. And so now I have a scenario that, if you look at the scenario, of course, all it would do is give you these values. So I'm going to click OK. Click on this, and of course, nothing changes because those are the original values. Let me do one of these summary sheets. Click on this. And then, of course, I'm not surprised that the current values are based on the original values. So that's cool. Okay, let me continue after a short break here. We had created the original values as a safety precaution to always keep the original values around in our spreadsheet. And so I'm going to click on that. And that returned everything to these original values. So let me go over into the what-if analysis, scenario manager. Now I want to look at the 2 cases that were proposed by Tanya. Okay, Tanya said, first case, monthly and salary increase of $500, tax by 60, home insurance goes up by 70%. Second case is quite similar, increase of 500, but slightly more in taxes and the health insurance. So let's create that first scenario. So the original values are there. Okay, good. I'm going to add the case, so I'm coming over here. Case number 1. Okay, everything looks good here, but this time I'm going to click off the prevent changes since we do want the changes to take place. Monthly salary is to go up by $500. So rather than doing this by hand, I'm just going to put equal cell B3 plus that $500. Better put a 3 there. Okay, the federal taxes go up by 60%, so I can again use a formula here if I wish. Equal. Federal taxes are located in B8. Excuse me. And this time I'm going to multiply it by the increase. So in other words, it's going up by 60%, almost halfway doubling. So I'm just going to multiply by 1. That's the original taxes, 0.60% more. So that's where we get 1.60. And then likewise in cell B9, health insurance, we're going to multiply it times the increase of 1.70, 70% increase. Okay, so that looks okay. Okay. This is okay. I want to convert it to values. So here I have my two scenarios. Here's the original values, the current situation. And here's my test case, case number 1. And you can see that there was some increase. Now, if I want to compare the original to my first case, we can go down here, click on this, and you can see that those are the current values based on what we just got. So, but here you have the original values, and here you have the case 1 scenario. And unfortunately, there's just a little bit of a change, about almost a $5 change. So that's not worth much. But let's put in that next scenario that's in step number 12, case number 2. So I want to add another case. Now again, word of warning. Let me go back over here. In fact, let me get rid of this because these are just get cluttered around. Get rid of that. Now I'm going to go up here to my what if analysis, scenario manager, and I always want to build my new cases based on the original values. So I'm going to click on that. So here we have those original values again. I want to add case number 2. What cells are going to change? Just the ones that are possibility of changing. So those are correct. Let's go to, here I want to, again, make sure I turn that off. I want changes to happen. And here again, let's take that original salary, located in B3, and add the $500. Okay. This time, the federal tax, located in B8, will go up by 1.75, 75% increase. Then in cell B9, this is going to be going up by 90%. So we want to multiply it times 1.90 to get that 90% increase. So this looks pretty good. Those are the three that are changing. I'm going to hit OK. This is OK when I want values. And so there I have my three scenarios. There's the original scenario, case number 2, and case number 3, or case number 1 and case number 2, respectively. Now that we've finished the first two cases that were prepared by Tanya, let's enter our own cases. So let's do this part of the project together. So let's go back to data. We want to go to what if analysis, scenario manager. Now I don't want to base my new project on any of the previous cases. I want to go with the original values. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, so I'd like to add. Number 3. We want changes to occur, so we click that off, hit OK. Okay, monthly salary. Let's say that went up by $1,000. So again, make this a formula. Equal B3 plus $1,000. Tax rates. Same with those taxes. Let's say they went up 80%. So equal B8 times 1.80. And health insurance, well, what if the cost of health insurance just doubled? So right out doubled. Okay, so that would be cell B9 times 2.00. So those are our three changes. Let's hit OK. Now I have three possible scenarios, the original values, case 1, case 2, case 3. Now it's a little hard to, again, compare these cases, so that's where the summary page comes in. I'm going to hit OK. And now we see a contrast of the three scenarios. And again, the $1,000 raise gives them a bit of a more take-home pay that they can use and still pay higher taxes and such. So this is how it works. I'll leave case scenario number 4 up to you. If you have any questions, please give me a call or text me at 843-283-9991 or shoot me an email at my college email, steves@coastal.edu. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.